Kowalski. I'm the leading investigator on any of my parapsychology and paranormal investigations. So today I'm going to be discussing part 2 regards to the energy from the last video, which was the push. The interaction with energy. So this one is still the same house in the same little crazy active town in Iowa, Boone town. Ooh la la. I mean, it's a cute little town, but man, it's something else, that place, to tell you, right? This video is basically it was a situation is incredibly embarrassing, by the way. I thought in the last one, going to the hospital with a fractured wrist because I got shoved on the stairs by energy was embarrassing enough. No, this one I had to call the police because I thought there was an intruder in the house. It was that active and loud, and I actually felt like there was somebody in the house. Literally, like I could hear it and everything. So this is about 2 weeks after. So I'm still at my friend's house now. Her husband came on leave, and then they basically went away for a weekend. So I was sort of staying, you know, I was in the house on my own this particular weekend, and it was, I believe it was a Friday night, and I remember I was talking to my ex-husband at the time. It was like getting late. It was like 11:30 at night. I know it was like 11:30ish. I know it was late, but I was on the phone to my ex-husband, and I was sleeping in her bed, in her bedroom, because she had a huge TV. So I was sort of watching a movie there. I was sat in her bed watching a movie, and I remember it was quite funny because in the corner of her bedroom there was a bit pink baseball bat. And I didn't have a gun or anything like that, you know, at this point. So I remember I was talking to my ex-husband, and we're just chatting away, and I actually heard what sounded like the front door opened downstairs, and I said to my ex-husband, I said, hey, I think my friend's back already. Okay. Because I heard the door open and everything. Then I heard like what sounded like two people talking. So I literally felt like, it was that loud, and I said, hey sweetie, I'm upstairs, I'm in your room. And then I heard walking across the wooden floor, and I'm thinking, and there was no response. And I said, hey sweetie, I'm just upstairs, I'm in your room. And my intuition just suddenly went from, I can't explain it, it just went to, and I'm saying to my ex-husband on the phone, I went, something's wrong, she's not responding, but now I can hear them walking up the stairs. I had this gut-wrenching feeling that I needed to just run to the door and lock it. Now I was cornered because there was no way out apart from that window. So I quickly locked the bedroom door, and then I sort of went back to the corner, and I went close to the window, and I remember saying to my ex-husband, something feels weird, I don't like the feeling. It felt very sinister. I felt like something's here, someone's here, so I remember saying out loud, who is it? Who is it? Is that you, sweetie? Who is it? And then I saw the door turn. I'm like the door handle. I'm like, okay, seriously, don't come in here because I'll smash you over the head with a baseball bat. It's literally like. But then my ex-husband said, put the phone down, call the cops now. So I put the phone down, called the police, and there was no sound. Nobody was interacting with me on the other side of that door, apart from I felt like somebody was there, like, and I saw the doorknob turning, and it was that interactive. And I remember saying to the police, I think I've got an intruder in my house. I'm staying at my friend's. I've got an intruder. I've got a pink baseball bat. I need help. So they just said, where are you? And it's obviously a small town, right? So literally like a few minutes away. And they said, we're on our way, don't worry about it. Is the door locked? And I went, my bedroom door's locked, but this person's just, whoever it is behind that door is just turning the door handle, and it's freaking me out because they're not doing anything and they're not saying anything. And This is how interactive it was. Now that's still happening while I'm talking to the police. They're just, I don't know who's at the other side of the door, but I need help because I've only got a pink baseball bat. So they said, okay, don't stay on the line, don't worry, they're on the way now. And I could hear them as well, like the little sirens going. And this still wasn't stopping the energy on the other side, because it was energy on the other side turning the doorknob. And I wasn't afraid because I was afraid of energy. I was afraid because I thought there was a physical intruder in the house. And I was like, what? And it was like, that's what was freaking me out. So they said, can you come? I literally, and as I looked out the bedroom window, right there, all these cop cars, all these police cars, like turned up, and blue lights and everything. And they said, can you come downstairs? I went, I'm not going out that bedroom door. I don't know who's at the other side of the door. You need to just kick the door in. I don't care at this point. If there's an intruder in this house, you need to kick that door in and just come in. Seriously. I'll deal with the consequences of that afterwards. So, they came in, and I could hear the police, like, coming up the stairs and everything, and they were, Karen, where are you? And I'm like, I'm up here. And they said, okay, can you come out? I said, well, I just want you to let you know I've got a pink baseball bat. Don't know why. And they said, okay, it's okay, we're outside the bedroom door, you can open the door. And I'm like, how did you not see it? Who is it? Well, who was in the house? And it was, God, it was so weird. So I opened the door and the police are there, and I'm like a bit freaked out, like, someone's at the door, I'm serious. And I'm still on the phone to the operator, and okay, the police are here now, thank you, blah, 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 blah. And they did a full search of the house, and there was no doors open, there was nothing, there was no windows open, there was nothing. There was nobody in that house but me. But it was that interactive, I had to call the police because I thought there was an intruder. When I realised, actually there was I can't remember if it was a sergeant, or there was a police again, and I remember saying something like, fucking energy. When we realised it wasn't a human intruder, I went, fucking energy, just like that. And he looked at me and he went, what? And I went, this fucking house, there's just something wrong with this house. I'm serious, I'm so sorry. It's just off the charts, fucking haunted. And he went, oh, don't worry about it. That's normal around here. And I'm like, what is wrong with this town? What is wrong with this fucking town? So, and then he was explaining, it's not the first time we've had call outs for possible intruders and there's nobody there. I'm like, oh God, seriously. So that was that. And it was incredibly embarrassing, but apparently it was like a normal thing. Anyway, after calmed down and I locked the door and everything, and obviously I didn't sleep that night, but not because I was afraid of energy, but I just couldn't understand. I just really believed it was somebody real, physical, a real person, or persons, because I heard people talking as they're walking through the house, coming up the stairs. It was really weird. So I called my ex-husband back and I said, the police have been and the police have gone, they searched the house, there's nobody here. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what the? And, he's just like, that's just you got to get out of there. I say, yeah, I need to leave this freaking town. It's not just this house. I need to leave this town. There's something wrong with this town. So, and there probably isn't nothing wrong with the town. It's just, it's very active. I didn't like the energy at all in that town. So the next day, I kind of went to the police station just to sort of speak to the chief of police and, apologise. And like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I had to call you guys out at silly o'clock at night. Because I really believe, he went, no, you don't need to apologise. That's what we're here for. If you feel like there's somebody intruding in your home, you call us, whether they're real or not. I went, no, but they were real. So it was like that. And then, like I said, when my friend finally got home and the door was in a bit of a mess, I said, look, I'm sorry, but I had told them to kick it in. I'm not even going to apologise because there's something wrong with your house. I'm serious. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you called the cops. I went, yeah, I did. And there's like 6 cars pulled up. I didn't even realise you had 6 squad cars in this little tiny little town. And but the whole little house on the street was just, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. So I within a week, like a week later, I was done. And to be perfectly honest, at this point, I don't feel like she wanted me there either, because obviously the husband was home, and I feel like the reality of what she was doing was about to catch up anyway. Not to mention the fact that she actually sent me a text message which wasn't meant for me. It was meant for somebody she was talking to, about asking, needing me to leave anyway. But I got it, and it's like, you got it. You don't need to ask me twice. But it was weird because now I understand, looking back, there was a lot more to her, and there was a lot more that she was doing and she was involved in too, which explained a lot, which would also explain why it's probably not a good idea for me to be there either. So getting a better understanding of her too, you know, obviously not really friends anymore, but I'm not surprised by that sort of behaviour. When you are that low vibrational and you're doing some really shady shit and sneaky stuff all the time, in with different addictions, etc., I'm not surprised that person doesn't have that much energy attached to her. And she was not leaving. There was no way she would. It was weird. I couldn't understand how she could sleep in that house. Obviously medication helps, but that's the only reason. There's no way no normal person's going to be able to sleep in that house with that level of activity, unless you're inviting it in, and that's the other thing. So that's something you don't do unless, you know, you're into that sort of stuff. Where, but then again, if you're calling sort of energy in and you're trying to interact with stuff you don't understand, you're going to be in trouble. I stay away from that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I felt like I even, looking back, I feel like, I wonder if the police were called out to that house maybe more than maybe previous, long before I got there. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It was weird. Well, it wasn't weird, not that weird, not for me, but I never thought I would have to call the police to deal with energy, because like I say, I didn't really focus on the energy aspect of it at all. I literally really believed, to be honest, I literally believed my friend came home early, and that was them, until I realised that's not them. There's something wrong here. Okay, what's going on here? And then it was only after the fact, when we realised there was nobody in the house, I'm like, God, this fucking energy was pissing me off. But at that point, I was pretty much done anyway. So, and you know, looking back, I mean, I can cleanse any house, I can do all sorts of stuff, but there's just, when it comes to sort of energy like that, really old energy, it's a lot harder to sort of get rid of that anyway. But especially if it's invited to stay, like if it's there to stay because it's the owners are like, yeah, stay, you're invited to stay here, that's not going anywhere. So yeah, I mean, and then I look back and I think, God, I can't believe I spent 4 days wasting all of my amazing energy trying to cleanse and sort that place out, and oh God, oh, what a waste of time. Then, like I said, but then I realised I was dealing with multiple energies. Like, it wasn't just one old energy, it was just numerous, and they're all old, like they're all interactive, and oh God, and it was just, wow. It was very bizarre, very bizarre. But again, like the whole little town was a bit bizarre too. So, I mean, like I said, cute little town, but very, very strange town. So, but yes, that was the police call out, and you know, they probably thought that woman's whacked out, and I wasn't doing drugs or anything. I wasn't, you know, it was embarrassing. But at the same time, like I say, there was like one of the cops, he was like, oh God, don't even worry about it, this is normal. I'm like, what do you mean? This is not normal behaviour. What? But apparently call outs to these like people calling because they really believe that they've got an intruder in the house, apparently that's normal. Then comes to find out there's nobody actually in the house apart from them. It's like, well, you know, when you know, right? You're not making it up and you're not delusional or anything. You're not, when you're literally like scared and you really believe this, no, you just know. There's a knowing, and then there's just like, God, it was that real. It was so real. Like, I really felt like I was going to start fighting with a freaking pink baseball bat. And there's me thinking, oh my God, if this, whoever's at the other side of that door could have a gun or anything, and I cannot go to a gunfight with a freaking pink baseball bat. I mean, the colour of it was like, it's not exactly, but I'm just saying, that's all I had to defend myself, because I really believed I was actually going to have to start fighting someone on the other side of that freaking bedroom door with a baseball bat. I was like, oh my God. And there was nobody there. It was just energy. But again, it was that powerful and intense and that active, that, yeah, crazy. But that was, and I haven't been back to that little Boone town in Iowa. I don't even know if that farmer friend still lives there or anything. I mean, if she does, that won't surprise me at all. But I don't feel like that's the sort of house any person should be really, I don't think you should be living in that house. Nobody is going to be able to live in, especially when you're interactive with energy and you can do what I do, which wouldn't bother you. But if I wouldn't live in a house like that, right, when I don't fear energy, nobody else should be living in that house. It's just, no. Because there's different types of energy. There's incredibly negative energy, and then there's really, really bad negative energy. But again, that's still rare. But it's, I don't know, the way certain types of energy can influence your personalities and your behaviours. You'd be amazed at, but again, you got to go back to that low vibrational behaviour, that low vibrational frequency you have. That's what's going to attract and entice that, especially aged energy as well. It's going to entice that negative energy, and they're just going to stick to you like a soft thumb. They're not, that energy's not leaving at all. The only way you're going to really get rid of that, or you're not going to have to deal with it as much, is if you, I don't know, change your behavioural patterns or raise your vibrational frequency. But most people don't really know how to do that. So, and they wouldn't even think about doing anything like that. They probably don't even know what that is. So, but that's actually what will alter a turnaround of dealing with, when it comes to dealing with energies. Again, like I said in the last one, like negative energy, it cannot, or low vibrational energy, whether human or inhuman, dead or alive, it does not matter. It cannot, there's no magnetic effect. It cannot be around high vibrational frequencies in human form or in energetic form for too long. It can't, because that's not what it functions off or fuels off or connects to. It's like attracts like, energy attracts energy, low vibes attract low vibes, high vibes attract high vibes. So it's kind of like a magnetic effect. Energy signatures, if your energy signature is functioning one way, that's what you're going to attract in the form of another energy. Whether that's energy that's passed over, or energy in the physicality, someone who was alive still. The principle's the same. So yeah, but crazy times. That was I remember 2012 was just a strange year anyway. Crazy year. But, and then when I moved back to Michigan, oh, then I was getting really active in like when it comes to energy, and I was starting to do, you know, like a lot of cleansings and things like this, and I'll discuss that one. I'll discuss my most interactive clairaudience though, energy cleansing of a cleansing of a home that had no business being cleansed, and it was just very strange. But that was in 2014, so look out for that video. And then, like I say, that's my most memorable experience trying to cleanse a house that I just felt like I'd wasted my energy doing. Because sometimes what I do, it's like when I go to places and I'm smudging or I'm cleansing people's energy fields, like them physically, it's like, why do I feel like I'm wasting my energy? These people just don't change. Oh, these people have actually invited this in. So, you know, that can be really annoying for somebody like me that does what I do. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It's just sometimes I can have experiences where, like, I've used a lot of energy and it was so worth it because it helped that person or persons. But then sometimes it's like, are you serious right now? I can't believe I just wasted all of the energy on this crap, shitty people or shitty situations. So yeah, there's that too. But other than that, I mean, if you've had an experience like that, where it's been so interactive and it felt so real that you've actually had to call law enforcement, I would love to hear from you. So you can always go to my website, drkaramakowska.com, and then go to my Parapsychology page and just submit a report, you know, your experience. I would love to hear your experiences, because I know for a fact I'm not the only one. But I would love to hear your interactive story, you know, your situation, and what made you feel like you had to call the police. So, yeah, I'll be intrigued to hear your story. Absolutely. Other than that, just stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all again very soon.